Ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you today to let you know that truly Fine Urban Interiors delivers yet again. Hey Cynthia, how are you?
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, great.
Good to see you.
Yeah, fantastic. Same.
Yeah? Well, I mean, I've just ridden in through a very exclusive part of Nairobi.
Yes.
And when I came here, and I didn't know what to expect, but when I rode into these gates,
Jaw-dropping.
completely jaw-dropping. What is this? Where are we? What's happening here, Cynthia?
This is insanity. I have no way of describing it, because even for me, this was actually one of the first projects that I got to be on, but I haven't been here for a while, and there's been quite a number of changes, and to me it's mind-blowing.
Right.
I feel like it's absolutely insane.
I enjoyed riding in through here. I mean, this cab road, it feels very. When I was riding on my bike, I came in and it's like I was transported into this very soft. It felt like I was riding on a carpet. Tell me about this parking entrance.
So everything, first thing I have to say is everything you see around us, Fine Urban Interiors. We touched absolutely every part of this project, and these tiles are also us. So we did away with the old cupboard that was here, and this is what we did. We wanted to create something exciting, because there's this huge space, so we wanted to feel more dynamic, and you can see we've played around with the different shapes and colors to just create something more exciting.
Very, very polished. It
Yes.
feels, quite nice and polished. And tell me, Cynthia, does that mean that if Fine Urban Interiors started this house, they touched everything? Does it mean that this house started from scratch, or was this a renovation?
It was a renovation, but really we've redone everything. Like, you can see the perimeter wall. There's just so much detail in this property. That's another thing I want to point out as I show you what we've done. There's so much detail, and I think before we can go any further, let's just start from the outside so you can have a full view of everything we've done.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know I like fine spaces and places, right?
Yeah, this is the finest.
Cynthia, where does this property start and where does this end? Are we talking about that side or this side?
That side.
This side, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So Cynthia, let's talk about this outside perimeter wall.
Yes.
What level of detail and improvement went into this part of the house?
I would say it's it's extremely different. It's unrecognizable. I'll keep saying this. Unrecognizable, because this wasn't exciting in any way, shape, or form. But now there's so much that you can see we've done. We've done the molding work. We completely reshaped the wall as well. And you can see we've played around with contrast. I
love contrast. Yeah. I love contrast.
I think it's just something that catches your eye. Yeah, so you can see the colors. We've played with very natural colors. We've added texture. It's just these little elements that really elevate like a simple space, because this could have just been a blank wall with some lights on it, but just adding that texture, those different shapes, that contrast, just makes this entire wall feel like there's something so great going on beyond it.
Besides the texture of the paintwork, which feels very, very elegant, I see that there's some, what are those black items right on the wall there?
Those are lights.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you can imagine at night
How it illuminates the whole wall.
Yes, because you're not going to put all that work into all that detail and then just have it disappear in the darkness. No, the light, I mean, it's a security feature, but it's also something to just highlight all the beautiful work that's been done out here.
Yeah, I love this. You know, this little pattern, this textured, very, very nice.
Yeah, it's just something different to catch your eye. Like you can see how it would be kind of very different if it was just flat.
And the contrast, when you talk about the contrast,
the stone,
the white against the gray, very, 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 very unique. It pops and it gives
and
you.
it introduces that texture I'm talking about. Not only the texture of the work we've done on the actual wall, but just those small things really add something to it.
And we got to talk about this gate.
Yes.
We have to talk about this gate.
Yes.
I can see myself in the gate. This is like a. Hang on, let me just adjust myself. You know, is this polished? What is this mirror effect? Is this glass or is this steel? What is that?
Yeah, I think it's like a steel feature, but it's just something that creates a bit of a different feel. I think if you look around, not many people have this kind of gate, and it's just something that's beautiful, essentially, and just creates a grand entrance.
And you've incorporated, of course, the security, so you've got a camera there that can actually look in and look outside and see who's coming in.
Yes.
I mean, everything about this whole entrance feels pretty grand.
Yes. Yeah, and you can see we've put the cabros here as well.
Oh, right from outside.
Yeah, they lead into, because we didn't want to feel like two different spaces. You're not going to have all that going on inside and then have the outside be lackluster. Like, that's just not how it works. So this it functions to introduce, to give an idea, like a tease of what's going on inside. Yeah.
Well, I love it. I love everything about this. So I guess maybe we can head back inside.
Thank you. Now tell me what your first impression is. Like just walking in and seeing that view.
Yeah, I mean, it's the space. First of all, the space.
Yeah, it's large.
It's large, and obviously this client has quite the selection of vehicles. 8 parking lots plus all of this other space. The first thing that catches me is the blue lights on the staircase leading up to the main house, and you know just how vast this house is.
Yeah, and we wanted to match that. Like I keep saying, this has to be a grand entrance. With a house like that, can you imagine having to walk all this way on something that's not pleasant?
Right.
It just doesn't make any sense.
For me, just the feeling of I walk in and it's just bam.
It's like wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
One time you have the entire house, the full visual of the whole house in your face. It's magnificent.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful.
And I would love to see more of it. Where else should we proceed?
We're gonna walk along this beautiful cabro and head right to the gazebo, because that is a feature that did not exist in this compound. That was a structure that was not there.
So what about this? What about this parking area? Was this there before?
No, we added the shade, the car shades.
Okay.
Yeah, because we just thought, you know, as much as they have all this room, they can park all their cars all over. But this, you know, sometimes you don't want your cars to be directly under the sun, so it's good to have those designated areas and just provide, you know, something that is actually large enough. As you said, they have quite a selection of cars.
Right. Okay. So we're going into the back side of the house now.
Yes, and I want you to notice something. You can see like peaks of like natural elements and throughout, but now this section is where you're really going to see that we were very intentional about leaving certain spaces feeling very, very natural. And I think this is kind of where it kind of all starts.
Right.
Yeah.
I see more of the same texture that we saw outside along the walls. I've been seeing it all across from there and these walls as well. You haven't left anything to chance, have you?
We're very keen on uniformity, precision, detail. As I said, like, we're not going to touch one thing and leave the other. It's just not going to feel balanced. And also, if you're going to do it, you know, go big or go home. Go big or go home.
Go big or go home. All right, let's check it out.
Yeah, and more, you can see we polished all the way. All the way.
Right.
You know, the pathway is also very well polished. And we are at the gazebo.
Aha. So this structure did not exist before?
No, it did not. It's just something that we thought would just add something more to the compound, like just creating those different spaces for people to use for different things is very important when you have this space.
I love this, and this has what seating capacity. Wow, this you can actually put 5 or 6 people comfortably in here.
Yeah.
Did the client request this, or is this something that you guys just decided to do for the client?
So we decided to do it for the client, but not without their input. You know, I always say it doesn't make sense to put spaces that someone's not going to use. So it was an idea that we came up with, and we saw that we had the room, and we thought it would be something that would add so much more to the compound. So we pitched it and, you know, came together and agreed that this would be a space that would be very well used.
Do they entertain a lot, the client?
Oh, they have a large family. Like the parking lot, you might think is full right now, but that compound is usually full of cars.
Really?
Yeah, so having these spaces, much as the house is large as well, outdoor spaces are very important to just get to enjoy the natural elements of your compound.
Fantastic.
Yeah. You can see we've done gypsum for this as well. The lighting, you know, we're very keen on the details.
Tinted windows as well.
Yes,
translucent
privacy.
you can see outside, but you can't see inside. Very
Yes,
nice.
yeah.
Okay, and rain gutters, amazing.
Very well thought out.
I mean, like I said, you might as well have put a miniature house outside. This could easily double up as a gym, or as a kids area if necessary.
If they want to transform it.
If they want to transform it,
Yeah.
it looks like it could serve a number of purposes.
Many different purposes.
But these are like traditional paraffin lamps, right?
Yeah.
But they're not paraffin lamps because they're
not
electrical.
bulb.
They're
Yeah.
bulbs, right?
I love them.
Beautiful.
They're just so adorable.
Beautiful.
So, we can just turn around and look at the pool. So this
Was this pool always here, or was this reconstructed?
So for the pool, they did have a pool, but we completely redid it. We came in and we took away the tiles that were there and then put in new tiles, you know, just cleaned it up and made it feel like more fresh.
I really do like the premium finish, and you've got a little bit of the polished tile, and then the polished white marble stones.
You can see that there was much more thought put into things because it would be easy to put something like that's the same all throughout.
Right.
But we played around with different textures, different colors to make the space look beautiful essentially.
Wow.
Yeah, and also the white stone is a feature you're going to see throughout. We
I'm
saw it
seeing
outside.
it. Yeah, we saw it outside.
We have it around the house. So it's just, you know, creating that harmony throughout the entire project.
Very nice.
And also it's just beautiful. Like, isn't that just beautiful?
It is. And you know, obviously, if you want to relax outside here, you've got these beautiful. What are these called, Cynthia? Because
I would just call
I've never understood what these chairs actually do. Hang on.
How does that feel?
I can imagine calling myself. Excuse me, can I have a glass of champagne?
Exactly.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we redid this. These trees existed, like all this plantation existed. So we just wanted to keep that because this backyard feels more of like the natural part of the house.
Okay. Is that a guest house or a changing room, or what exactly is that structure back here?
That is the gym. That entire structure is the gym. It has its own bathroom, changing area. Yeah, and you know, we touched it. We did some renovations in there. Yeah.
Is that a mural on the side of the wall there?
Yeah, there is like, you know, integral to this client about liking natural things. So there's that mural that has like birds and like plants and stuff like that. And I think it just fits in perfectly in this environment.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
So over to this side, we have more seating, we have grass, we have trees, and I think you can feel that a different energy when you come here as compared to the front of the house.
It's completely open and green.
Yes.
Very, very green.
Yeah, it feels very different, and we thought, like, why not utilize that? We've created several seating spaces, so you can head over. We have that seating area, which is more of a relaxing area, but this one is meant to be a bit more functional.
Right.
So we can...
There's an entire dining set here.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Oh, I'm so glad that you were able to clock it. I didn't have to be like, oh, this is what we intended this for.
They call it al fresco dining. If you're dining on the outside, it is al fresco.
You've just taught me something new.
I just thought I'd share that with you,
I had no idea. I'll use that. I'll start using that too. But yeah, so that's what we've done. there's a beautiful space in here. You can imagine like lunchtime,
Right.
sitting out here just enjoying the sun and nature, or even dinner time if you know the night is not too cold, just sit out here and enjoy a meal.
I love this. I mean, these are all like really solid furniture pieces.
Yes.
This is stone and steel, right?
Yeah, you can see the texture is something that feels more natural. It's not like super sleek, stuff like that you have. You
On
can
the
put
inside.
in, yeah, but you can see even in the seating, it has that rustic feel. So it really fits into the space, but it's not like something that's flimsy.
Right.
Yeah.
And durable.
Very durable.
Yeah.
Have you felt the weight of this?
I know this
heavy.
is stone. This is a solid slab of rock.
Yeah.
That's out here.
Yeah.
Very nice, beautiful, and I like the way it complements as well the rock that's all around
It
in the
fits
landscape. And it
in.
fits in, right?
Yeah, that was the point. Like it has to feel like it belongs here, and doesn't want it to stick out already.
It's almost like the path continues here, continues there.
Yeah.
All very seamless and balanced. I like that.
Yeah, so another thing that we did was they have the servants' quarters.
Okay, on
yeah,
that side.
Yeah, so we were able to go in there and also renovate that because you have to touch everything. You can't
So you did
ignore any
the
space.
servants' quarters
yeah,
as well?
Yeah, we did those as well. We just
Fantastic.
renovated them. And yeah, I think from now we can head inside and now see the main course.
Please, after you.
Yeah, let's have a better impression if you go in from the front of the house.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like this curvature.
Yeah. Oh, this is actually quite tricky. You'll see it from the inside because we had to make some things that, work well with that curve of the wall.
Cynthia, coming back to this main entrance, I see there are a lot of other different designs and features around.
Yes.
From the pottery to this, this is a very exquisite light feature.
Yes.
To something that I'm sure, you probably had something to do with this, right?
I wish I did.
Do you love dogs?
I love dogs.
Is this you?
That's something I picked out, but definitely I
Yeah.
think it's absolutely adorable because we have these here and we have something similar on the other end.
On the other side.
Yeah, to like frame the entrance of the house
Uh-huh.
so that, things don't feel boring on one end and then, so you can see we still have those white rocks, we have this carpet grass, and then we have those cute little dog features there and the lighting.
Very nice. I mean,
Yeah.
like you say, it frames the house and it makes it, more interesting and gives
Yes.
people something to look at as well.
Yeah.
So all of this, let's talk about the entrance and the stairway.
Yeah, everything you see around this general area is really lead your eye here to the center, to the main entrance.
Right.
You see these handrails, we redid those. Those were customized.
Okay, these were customized, right?
Yeah, we redid those. We did these pillars that you see here. We have that beautiful molding that's similar to everything else in the compound.
Yeah.
So creating
This is
that
a light as
harmony.
well. I like that.
Yes. You have to highlight the features that you enjoy.
Beautiful.
And this entrance at night is insanity.
You've gone from cool white grayish marble to this solid ebony door. Black, just
Definitely.
boom.
Yeah,
Black is power.
It feels like very, I keep saying grand. Yes, that's exactly what it feels like. It just makes an impact and you're just like, okay, I'm about to see what's going on beyond this door.
Fantastic.
Come on in.
What is this?
This is what we were building up to.
What is this?
I'm just going to give you a minute. Just process.
Wow.
Yes. That is the exact reaction I had when I first got to come into this house.
Where do we start, Cynthia? I'm speechless.
I mean, we
I am
just start
speechless.
right here. I think we should start with the tile. Because, okay, it might seem like the least interesting thing.
Because there's too many things to talk about.
yeah,
I want to
there's
talk
so
about this
many.
chair. I want to talk about this curtain. I want to talk about
I
this
really will.
key thing. I want to talk about I want to talk about everything. But let me pace myself.
Yeah. the reason I want to start with the tile
Okay.
is because I tend to really enjoy when I can see the different ways we create flow and spaces. And looking at the tile where we just came and following in, you can see that it follows in through. And I think that's just an important feature in making this feel even grander. You might not notice it, but it'll definitely like, you know, click in your brain that there is something that makes this feel even more grand. And the tile is one of those features.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Because the one outside was kind of dull, but then this is super polished and it reflects a lot of the light as well.
Yeah, it's important to know what kind of tiles to choose for which spaces. And you can see these ones are much bigger because we wanted it to feel much lighter. And if you have smaller tiles, it'll look a bit too busy. So where do you want to go next?
I don't know. I mean, there's already, you know, I love fabric. So
Yes.
I look at this fabric. This is just right at the entrance. It's right at the entrance.
Yes.
You know, and looking at this, the sheer, I mean, this luxury, it feels just absolutely incredible, beautiful. I see all of this finishing. There's sheer at the, who put the sheer all the way up there?
We had scaffolding brought in to make sure that that did not remain empty.
And of course, we cannot begin to move into this house before talking about this.
Each room has its centerpiece, but this is what is really like the centerpiece of the house.
Amazing.
Yes, it's beautiful. It's silver. It has white lights, and then you can see the gypsum is really built around this feature. It's just something that catches your eye immediately.
When you walk in through this entrance, there's so much to look at.
Yeah.
There's so much to take in and absorb from the stairway that's leading up to that, to whatever's happening up there, which you can immediately start to appreciate,
Yes.
to this area here, which is like a, I don't know if this is a reception area, to the, is that a fish tank, an
That is
aquarium?
a fish tank.
To the dining table that, I mean, it looks beautiful from
Yeah.
over here. All the features in between demarcating the dining and the reception area.
Yes.
And I guess this is the living room. You can literally see
Everything.
everything
Yeah.
when you walk into this house
Yeah.
space.
But I think we could start with here.
Yes.
Because it's the main seating area as soon as you walk into the house.
Yes.
So you can see we have some very interesting shaped seats. The fabric is very different textures, different tones, things that you wouldn't really necessarily think would go together.
Right.
And also, we kept everything out simple, and the carpet is like this.
I love this carpet. I love this carpet. And I like how it's round, and this, it's round and it kind of
curvature,
it
yeah.
curves. It curves with it.
Everything is harmonious.
Beautiful.
Everything. And then, back here, you said we have this aquarium. This is an eye catcher as soon as you walk into the door, because it has a light inside, and then I think it's just one of those really smart ways of injecting color into the
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you have that pop of blue, we have the pop of blue in the curtains. It just makes sense to have it in the space. And then it's just, you know, it's a beautiful feature to have.
So there's storage here,
Yes.
storage here. I'm seeing storage underneath there, which is quite functional because I'm also thinking about the function. But as I was going through this space, my eye kept going over there, and what that mirror and that sink.
It's a statement, isn't it?
Wow.
And the wall. Like, I want you to get closer to that wall, because that texture tile is just beautiful. Like, there's just something about it. And I like how in the different areas, as we walk through, you'll notice your eyes always catching a different area so that nothing feels boring.
Wow. Look at this sink.
It's massive. You could wash a whole baby in here.
Yeah, you could. You literally
wash
could.
a whole baby here.
You could.
Yeah, and this entire area is just an introduction to a very beautiful
Bathroom.
bathroom that we have here for the guests.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
honestly, my favorite feature of this
This
area,
is
this beautiful
this mirror
textured
and
tile.
the tile, right?
Yeah,
Amazing.
for you it's the mirror.
For me, it's the
For
mirror.
me, it's the tile.
But I love the way the mirror works with.
Yeah, it's not something that feels like it's combative.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so before we move on, you know, we have this display area
Yes.
here. Because that whole entire wall, once you walk in, because from the door this area is kind of concealed. I like how after you come, it kind of reveals itself even more.
And this looks like it was built into the. This is built in, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's built, you can see we're very intentional. We don't like when things feel too bulky, so we're very intentional in making sure that it's recessed into the wall instead of having it stick out and taking up unnecessary space. And it creates some sort of harmony and balance throughout this entire wall. It just feels like one piece.
I love the space. I love how much space I have to move around, to express
You're
myself.
not kind of like shimmying
Yeah,
around
it's like,
things.
oh, you know, but
Yeah, no, it's free. You can kind of walk around, and now we can walk into this dining.
look at
room.
this. Can I take a moment? The tile changes depending where you are.
Exactly.
So already it feels like I'm about to go into a new space.
Yes.
You know, so it's like, okay, we're done here. There's this beautiful partitioning.
Yes.
Yeah, which has the display area, very similar to what we had over there.
Yeah.
But now the tile changes to have this beautiful. Is this wood? What is this?
It's tile that has like a wood effect.
A wood effect.
Yeah, and we love to do that to create warmth and also to make spaces feel different. It's very good to be able to play around with the type of tile.
I don't even know if I should walk into this dining room.
Oh,
I mean,
go right ahead.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so much to look at in this space.
Yeah.
From what is this? This is. Can I touch it? You know what I'm enjoying about this space?
Yeah.
There's so much decadence. In fact, that's the word that I'm looking for. There's decadence all around you, and then you've got this minimalist, but very functional set, this dining set, which is like, it's like, okay, you know what? We're not going to go too much and then too much. It's like, bam,
exactly.
relax. You know. Just everything about this, the carpet on the on the floor here, to the display area, to this feature wall, to this fabric that is, you know, looking out into the garden space.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this mirror and I'm thinking about my life. Like, can I get a space like this? Can you get a space like this? You know? Yes, I can.
I think now we can head over into the living room.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this.
It's seamless, isn't it?
Very
Walking through
seamless.
The house, so seamless.
And look at the look at how do you achieve this curve? Because it's starting to curve just across there. More display area.
Yes. It was a bit of a challenge, but you can see we managed to do it.
Fantastic.
And you know, adding in the displays, very harmonious. You saw it over there by the fish tank. We have some more in the dining, and then we have some more leading into the living room, just so the whole entire house, you know, just feels like one. You know, you don't want spaces feeling way too different.
I love this.
There's another mirror.
Ah.
Yeah.
And yeah, because it is nice and cool right now in June. You've got the fireplace. You've got this feature wall.
Yes.
Beautiful. Leading up to here, and again, same concept. You can access through there, or you can access through there. Fantastic.
And you can see the molding work we've done. We have that same texture there as well.
Yes.
Yeah, it's everything. Everything works well together. Everything has a reason for being where it is. So I love this little feature here because it kind of has that feel of a traditional fireplace.
Yeah.
You know how they usually
Where you
have
can-
that?
yeah.
Yeah, but you know, it's electric, but I think it's just beautifying, you know, just having that there. It's the small details.
The small details.
Very much so. So now we can turn into the main area.
Now, when I turn like this, the first thing that catches my eye is the ceiling, and this, again, beautiful light feature there, chandelier.
And you mentioned the gypsum. This thing took a lot of work. Like, it seems like such a simple.
No. I can imagine.
It's one of the things in this house where every time I look at it, I'm like, well, that is quite the achievement, because it was insanity getting those perfect circles in this size and just creating the perfect balance between these two spaces. What I want to do with you is go from this end and then walk over to that end.
Okay.
So we're going to start with this section, which is just like a small seating area separate from the main living area.
So we are in the first living room. Okay.
Yeah.
And you know, for me, this color scheme across the how many windows does this place have? Because I started talking about the color scheme, and then I realized, hang on,
There's a lot of
when we
windows.
came in, I saw curtains at the entrance.
Yes.
I've seen curtains at the dining. I'm seeing curtains here.
Yeah.
How much window space does this place actually have?
I think with the size of the house, you do want to make sure that the light is traveling from one end to the other. So I think, you know, they all serve a function. And speaking of windows and their functions, I love these two windows. You
Yep.
see they create great symmetry.
Beautiful symmetry. Chair,
Yeah.
chair, window, window, and something amazing in between.
We wanted to take advantage of that. We were
Right.
like, that's great symmetry. What can we do with that space?
Right.
So we created this. It's another recessed area.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, we tend to do that because we don't want things to feel too bulky. So
Is this, what is this, like firewood?
that's actual wood.
Actual wood.
Yeah, that's actual wooden pieces that we put in because we put in places like that fireplace. It's not a traditional fireplace, but I think like having the wooden pieces just kind of creates that feel that, oh yeah, it's very organic.
I've never
It's
seen
very-
that. I have never seen that before.
Yeah, and it's also a great decorative piece. When we designed the entire living room, this wall was blank, and we're like, hey, we have the bidding that's going throughout the entire
Yeah,
house.
I see that.
Yeah, but it didn't feel like it was enough. This felt kind of awkward between these two spaces. There
Right.
was a lot going on. So we wanted to create more of an effect, something different. And we went with, this beautiful rose gold glass feature.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's curved as well. I don't know if the
Yeah.
guys who are watching this can see this, but this is actually a
Yeah.
curved wall
Yeah,
to go with the curve of the ceiling.
yeah. And I think it's just a beautiful transitional area. You can see, you keep going, and then we have this huge, storage shelf.
Wow.
Yeah. This wall is curved.
Yes, it's curved as well. I can see that.
Yes. And building this was a task and a half. It was
Yeah,
a
it's
task
built.
and a half.
It's built into the wall, right?
Right into the wall. And you can see that it's not like straight. The back of this is
Yeah,
not
yeah.
straight.
Even here, I can see it. It's curving
Yeah,
that
it
way.
leans into the wall, fits in perfectly.
Can tell.
Yeah,
the
we
bottom.
had to do that. And then you can see the dark wood.
Yes,
It works well with the door.
with the doors. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, creates the contrast of the floor with the white of the ceiling. And I think it's just one of those standout pieces in any living room because everything else is a bit muted. This is massive and, perfect.
And this is obviously the TV section.
Yes, this is the TV section. So this is where you come and sit when your main purpose is to enjoy whatever is happening on TV. You can see the color scheme is the same.
Beautiful.
And we've created that balance because you can notice the couches over there are gray, the couches over here are blue. The small seats over there are blue, the small seats over here are gray. Like, it's just creating that balance. I really love that, playing around with those colors to make the two spaces feel different but still like the same.
Oh, and the gold just dials up the premiumness of the whole space that much more. Amazing.
Glass and gold.
Oh.
I always feel like that's a good combo.
Beautiful.
It's just luxurious. It just makes spaces feel more refined and next level. And then the area in this living room, apart from the seating and the beautiful furniture, is obviously the TV wall. We do tend to enjoy putting very exciting TV wall features in properties, but for this one, it was especially important, not only because of this huge TV, because of course they were going to have a huge TV, but because the TV wall was so big, we had to create something that felt like it fit there.
So all this is built in, right? This is all stuff that is part of.
Customized.
It's customized,
Yeah.
all for the wall.
Yeah, because the thing is, can you try and imagine if we didn't have that bidding feature? We'd have something that felt a bit too small for this area.
Got it.
Yeah, so when we were building the TV wall, we were not just like, okay, where's the TV going to be? No, the entire wall had to come into consideration. We have the bidding, we have this beautiful marble finish in the back,
Yes.
we have this customized shelving. You can see at the bottom we have cabinetry, we have this beautiful display feature. Like, it's a complete thing. It's not just like, okay, let's just put something pretty.
Is this
pretty.
storage?
Yeah, everything here, it's storage. You have at the bottom. Like, there's plenty of space to store stuff.
I like how this effect is very nice and seamless, and it blends into another curved wall. There's a curve going all the way around. How do you? I mean, to be able to mount, art and then have the beading.
Yeah.
And make it continuous and have this curved feature. How long did that take?
Now, I feel like, that is the, magic sort of an interior designer. They're able to look at things like having those curved walls. Yes, it's a challenge, but they're able to come up with ingenious ideas on how to, work within those limitations. They're not lazy. They're like, okay, let me just avoid that curved wall. I didn't see it. you have it, you're like, okay, it's that, what am I gonna do with it? And having those wall hangings that match these colors, like that is the gold,
Yeah.
the blue,
Yeah.
amazing. And then be like, no, that is something we're gonna, incorporate into the design that we're coming up with. I think it's just absolutely amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
And the cornices of where the curtain box also fits in.
Yeah.
It curves together with the wall. Amazing.
Yeah. And we love to do this feature. I don't know, I don't think I've mentioned this before, but we like to make things feel more seamless by hiding the curtain into the gypsum.
I like that.
Yeah, without lowering the ceiling too much, because that could go wrong very quickly. But yeah, you can see all around, it really does add to making the room feel more seamless all throughout. Before we can even go upstairs, the staircase itself is just a piece to talk about. Like, it's beautiful. We did so many changes to it throughout the entire process. So back to the entrance.
Yes.
And I think now that we've gone through all those spaces, this is actually the perfect space to stand and see how we were able to think about how to introduce the different spaces from here, right?
Right.
So we've just come from the living room, but you can see that on this end as well, we took into consideration how we're going to introduce that space to whoever is coming
Yes.
through the main door.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice expansive entrance.
Yes.
Symmetry. We've got the same art of peacocks on the same side.
Yeah.
Nicely lit. I love this molding. Yeah. Makes it very grand. It's almost like a ta-da type of effect.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think I just said it better myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And you can see the wall hangings are also highlighted. So it really does make it feel like, you're entering into a space that, you should expect big things from.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And also the same thing for the dining. We didn't close it off, but we created some sort of display just to make it feel like, okay, this is something else. That is something new. That's something exciting.
Right.
Without, doing something too similar throughout.
Right.
So from here, I think is when we can now head upstairs, but the stairs themselves are something to be talked about.
I mean, straight up, before you can even start climbing the stairs, you
Yeah.
notice how much detail has gone
Yes.
into putting this staircase.
Together.
Together.
Yeah, it's things like that that kind of really catch your eye. Like, it's that attention to detail. Like, you might think it's not necessary. Actually, you might be like, why couldn't you just leave it blank? But our goal is to beautify the space.
Right.
Right? So if we can come up with a creative idea to make it look something that would usually be left blank to look more beautiful, why not? And we put in the work and we come up with the designs and we curve them out and we put them on the staircase, and it does make a huge change.
Beautiful.
Yes. And also the staircase itself, we put down the carpet because we just thought, we want a texture that feels a bit softer as you're walking up, because we have a lot of tile throughout the house.
Yes.
So on the stairs, I think, it's good to have a different texture on it, something that feels a bit softer. And also you can see we have this grills.
I see that. And the other thing that I like is as the angle of the grill and the angle of this beaded feature on the walls.
Yes.
It gives you that sense of, okay, now we're moving up.
We're moving upwards. Yeah, it's very important to create those lines in any space that kind of lead you to where you're going, because that could have been ignored.
Yeah.
Just make it straight.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't look as good. So, and also I love that it's like the different tones. It kind of separates the two tones
Nice.
in the exterior. And if you look at the wall overall, it's that simple color, the simple, use of this bidding. It just creates something very beautiful, going all the way up to these beautiful lights up there.
I love it.
Yeah, and as I was saying, the grills, customized.
These are the same. Where did we see these grills? Outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Right
at the entrance. Okay.
So that follows through into the house.
Got
So
it.
each one of these rings painstakingly made. Like every single bit had to be, fabricated.
This entire thing was fabricated from scratch.
Yeah, because it has to fit in with the rest of the design. So we go that extra mile and we fabricate things.
Wow. Can we take a moment to appreciate the fact that there's a mirror
Yes.
that is perfectly placed on this you know, it's like, okay, we've reached part one of the stairs. Let's take a moment to check ourselves out, because just in case we need to be able to, you know, interact with some people upstairs, we need to make sure that we're still, you know, clean and fresh, but it also gives a feeling of space and depth.
It's just those touches that it's nothing too busy, but it does something very significant for the space.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Stairs to the landing.
This feels like I'm going to a whole other house. I mean, it's I've not seen a landing this big.
Yeah.
You could literally entertain and have an event on this landing with the size of space that we're talking about here. I almost feel like I could have an address like, ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you today to let you know that truly Fine Urban Interiors delivers yet again. And then you hear the applause from down there. Like, let's talk about this wall.
Yeah.
Is this tile, Cynthia?
Yes, it is.
There is
texture
tile on this wall.
Yes, because of just adding that element of texture, because all the walls would kind of feel the same if we didn't kind of find a way to separate those spaces, and just having these tiles here with this texture, you know, which has its own character. So that wall it's a light color, but has that texture. You can see we have these beautiful tiles, which is distinct from the one we saw downstairs, because it's smaller tiles and have more of gray veining to it.
Got it.
Yeah, and then we have these beautiful features all over. Over here, we have this wall hanging with those lights to highlight it. That entire wall now feels like a whole feature to itself. And then you can see across, we have a console table. We have another beautiful wall hanging.
Wow.
This is the type of art I quite enjoy. Anything that feels like African woman vibes. I just really enjoy it, and has that like gold, you know, color to it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love this credenza effort here. Very, very nice.
Yeah.
Again, because you can't leave the walls just...
You can't leave them bare. That leads into the master bedroom. And then we have, this is the main wall of this section.
You know what I'm going to say.
You love the mirror.
Love the mirrors.
Yeah.
Love the mirrors.
Yeah.
It makes the space feel huge. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's big.
It's big, but...
Yeah, but adding the mirror and the light colors makes it feel even bigger. And with the size of this house, that doesn't hurt at all.
It does not.
It does not hurt at all. So you can see that right here we're standing in the middle of 2-bedroom doors.
Got it.
So this kind of serves as like a small corridor between the two areas. So we had to make it feel distinct. You can see with the gypsum, we've kind of isolated this area and created something very different from what you can see in the center and what you can see further on.
Okay,
Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, what do you call it? When you're framing spaces, because that section frames that entire hallway. This one just frames this section here.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Cynthia, I don't know what to say about this house.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. I'm speechless. I want to take a moment to just go back downstairs and just sit and just take all of this in.
Yeah.
There's so much to look at and so much to talk about. But I guess, you know, we'll let the rest of the audience decide. So I'm going to go back downstairs and just take a moment. If you'd like to join me, and we can just have a chat about, you know, what it took to actually put this project together. Cynthia, I have no words to fully express what I'm feeling right now, having gone through this house. And I know we've just scratched the surface, but already what I've seen, the amount of detail, the amount of texture, the amount of just, there's so much going on in what we've seen. And I'm curious, for you've seen this project, you know what has gone into it. What would a project like this take in terms of time?
So a project like this, because of like the efficiency that we have been able to create over the years, because of the fundis, the capabilities that, you know, we know that they're able to execute, a project like this would take us roughly like 3 months to complete. But with this particular project, we wanted to do, you know, something that we felt like the client was going to fully enjoy for years to come. That's always our goal, like to create something that's not just, okay, 2 years from now and then they're gonna be like, we're bored, we wanna change things up. So we've been tweaking things here and there. You know, we'll do it, we complete it, and then we're like, but we feel like this feature could just add something extra.
And I think also, you know, when you're embarking on a project like this, you must give some time as well for the client to express themselves, because it's a fine line balancing between what the interior designer wants and what the client wants. So I, as a client, okay, I'm not a professional interior designer, but I would want, say, this type of effect or this type of feeling. And you, as the interior designer professional, you know that that's not going to work. So it's how do you strike that balance between knowing what you can deliver from a professional perspective and knowing what the client wants?
I think that's the importance of really being very respectful of your client's opinions, because I feel like I've had experiences where someone might feel like they know it all. So it's like, I'm the one who does this job. You don't know what you're talking about. I think your space should look like this. But if you're very keen and you respect what the client is saying, it's a collaboration. So there's a way you will sit down and be comfortable because you've established that communication and be like, look, we can't do this, it won't fit, but there's this idea that seems like what you're going for. Sometimes it's about just trying to make someone understand, like, okay, this is the vision that you have. We can't do it exactly the way you want it, but we can still execute your vision in a different way that makes more sense.
Let me ask you one last question. Have you ever been in a situation where a client, you agree with the client, you collaborate, you work together, you deliver the final project, and then the client stays in the house for maybe a month or two and is like, actually I want to change?
As I just said, we tend to work on homes that can be enjoyed for years to come.
Right.
Because if they can sit there and be like, they would have seen that while we were going through the process.
Must be quite expensive. Imagine you finished something and then someone says, actually, I think we need to have gone a different direction.
That's why they need to be there every step of the way.
I see.
What we're creating is not for us.
I see.
It's not for the fundis to stay here. It's not for Fine Urban. It's for the owner of the house to be able to enjoy it. So if that happens, we failed.
So they have to be part of the project?
They have to be part from the beginning.
Okay.
The reason we do site visits is to be able to talk to them, see what they want, find ways to implement, create these renders, get the confirmation, start doing it. Sometimes you might select a color for a space. And once we're putting it down, like, look, this is not working. We felt like it would work, you felt like it would work, but when we're seeing it's not working, let's get back to the drawing board and see what's going to work for that.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
This has to be one of the best walkthroughs and reveals I've ever been through, and I really do enjoy exquisite, high-end spaces. And for me, Mwenese Musalia, curator of fine spaces and places, courtesy of Fine Urban Interiors, and my amazing hostess, Cynthia, thank you so much.
No, you're welcome anytime. I feel like doing these walkthroughs with you, you bring a different perspective. So I think I quite, enjoy working in partnership.
Fantastic, and I hope you guys enjoyed seeing that. See you next time on another reveal. Take care and have a good one.
Guys, before we go, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're Fine Urban Interiors on YouTube, and you can also find us on all other social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at Fine Urban Interiors. You'll find more educational videos on that. And we'll see you on the next video.